Hello and welcome to the news. I am Saja Brito. Coming up this evening, fishermen in Tanje react to state of emergency extension. C4 Upper Basic School prepare its students for grade 9 examination. And my guest today is GDC Diaspora spokesperson Dudu Ndow, who will be discussing the recent events in the country. But first, we'll begin with the newspapers. The Standard newspaper is reporting that boy 15 stabbed to death in Bakote, and David Collis oddly implicated him in Baba Job's murder, and NCP reconciles to avoid deregistration by the Independent Electoral Commission. Business tycoons urge Gambians to help President Adama Barrow succeed, and GAP warns Gambians against looming dictatorship. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Boy 15 stabbed to death in Bakote. One Ibrahima Cisse, a teenager, was last night stabbed to death in Bakote, just weeks after another man stabbed both his parents in the same village. The alleged culprit, one Almame Dabo, is currently detained at the Bakote police station, helping the police in their investigations. The police spokesperson, ASP Laminjai, told this paper that when the police arrived at the scene, they found that the victim had already been evacuated to hospital, where he was later pronounced dead by health officials. David Collis oddly implicated him in Baba Job's murder. Former prison boss David Colley has been accused of involvement in the death of former APRC kingpin Baba Job, who was allegedly suffocated in his hospital bed by the junglers long after his prison term ended. Last year, one of the hitmen, Omar Oya Jallo, confessed he was among a team who killed Job in his hospital bed. At yesterday's TRRC hearing, lead counsel Esa Fall read a statement by the former DG David Collis Audley, one Lamin Sane, who said he was deployed by David to the hospital to lead the way for Jammes hitmen. In the statement, Sane said he was surprised that he was strangely posted to the hospital on the instructions of David Colley in a telephone conversation. NCP reconciles to avoid deregistration by the Independent Electoral Commission. The rival factions of the National Convention Party have reconciled nearly 2 years after each held separate congresses claiming legitimacy. The Independent Electoral Commission put the party under suspension, warning that it could be deregistered if the two factions, led by veteran Majanko Samusa and Yahya Sanyang, could not unite. In a statement issued yesterday, signed by representatives of the two groups, Dembo Jadama and Badara Sidibe, and the IEC chairman Aliu Momanjai, the two groups confirmed they have agreed to unite. GAP warns Gambians against looming dictatorship. The Gambia Action Party has condemned the arrest of human rights activist Madi Jabate and warned Gambians that President Barrow could return the country to its dark days with his administration enforcing draconian laws inherited from former President Yahya Jammeh. Jabate was arrested by the police last week and charged with false publication and broadcasting. His arrest came after his media comments faulting the police for their failure to investigate the killings of Haruna Jatta, Usman Dabo, and Keba Seka. Business tycoons urge Gambians to help President Adama Barrow succeed. Two top Gambian businessmen have urged citizens to put aside political differences and help President Adama Barrow to complete his mandate and the ongoing reforms of his administration. The managing director of GARCH, Abubakar Jawara, and Star FM and television boss Haji Baniko Sisoho were speaking to the Standard newspaper yesterday. They added that Gambians, especially political parties, must not watch and allow President Adama Barrow to fail. Trade Union condemns charges against Madi Jabate. The Gambian National Trade Union Congress has condemned charges against Madi Jabate, a leading pro-democracy campaigner who was expected to be arraigned Monday before the police extended his bail to next week. In a statement signed by the Secretary General Ibrahima Garbacham, the unionist called on the Inspector General of Police to drop all charges against Mr. Jabate. If it argued that hauling charges of false publication against Madi for his comments on the death of Haruna Jatta, Keba Seka, and Usman Dabo is an affront on freedom of expression and democracy, creating a culture of fear in our society. The unionists warned that any attempt to stifle dissenting voices in this country will be challenged. State appeals for restoration of murder charge for man who killed his wife. The state is appealing for the restoration of a murder charge against one Mamadou Oki Sissoho, who was charged with the murder of his wife Jari Demba in 2014 in Nyamanar village. He was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment for manslaughter by the Basse High Court in 2016. The matter is currently before the Supreme Court of the Gambia, led by the Chief Justice Hassan B. Jallow. Dissatisfied with the Basse Court's decision, the state had filed a notice of appeal at the Gambian Court of Appeal, but the Court of Appeal too affirmed the manslaughter guilty verdict, prompting the state to go to the Supreme Court challenging the said decision. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at some of the stories on the Point newspaper. Supreme Court set to deliver 8 judgments. New state of emergency declared. Deputies refer forced labor amendment to ABC. Government Tariq Musa come to consensus on James Commission's recommendation. Let's take a look at that story. Government Tariq Musa to come to consensus on Janek Commission's recommendation. The Gambia government and Tariq Musa have reached an agreement in respect to the adverse findings of the Janek Commission against the business mogul. The matter came before the Gambia Court of Appeal on Tuesday for continuation of hearing. Lawyers Sheriff M. Tambaidu and Keita informed the court that they have to consent terms which they want the court to use as its final decision or judgment. Tariq Musa and TK Motors were adversely found liable by the Janek Commission. The Gambia government had issued a white paper asking them to pay the sum of over 25 million Gambian dollars. They were dissatisfied with the adverse findings, and as a result appealed before the Court of Appeal against the findings of the Janek Commission. That's it for the newspapers. Let's go for a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The coronavirus pandemic has so far impacted all businesses, and now fishermen in Tanje explain how they are particularly affected by the pandemic following the extension of the state of public emergency by President Adama Barrow. Fatu Kamara tells us more.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, in exercise of the powers vested on him under Section 34(6) of the 1997 Constitution, declared another 7-day state of public emergency pursuant to Section 34(2). Meanwhile, the Fatu Network is out here today in Tanje, as they call it, the Tefes, that is the fishing site in Tanje, to talk to the people around this end and see what exactly they have to say about the fresh 7 days SOPE.
Wow, li ñu yokk ni naka lañ ko waxati baaxee na benn boor waaye bonee na it benn boor parce que fi mu toll nii jafe-jafe mu ngi tar ci biir réew mi waaw am na ñoo xam ne nag yëguñu ko waaye baadoole ñu ngi fi ñoo xam ne yëg nañ ko kon bokk yokk bi moom naka lañ ko daal jafe-jafe li ci réew mi fi mu toll nii waaw parce que da ngay gis ni ne feebar bi am na ñoo xam ne boo gisee Gambie fi am na ñoo xam ne gëm nañ ko am na ñoo xam ne nag gëmuñu ko te feebar bi dëgg-dëgg feebar la parce que ñenn ñi li ñuy wax ak li nga xam ne na moom mooy am nekkul benn boo toogee ba nga xam ne na government dafa jàpp liggéeyukaay yeeg place yeeg yëpp mu tëj leen kon boo xam ne na warul a nekk caaxaan nekkul noo xam ne na caaxaan la waaye nag bu la feebar bi laalul sa mbokk rek doo xam ne naka la feebar bi am na waaye daal fi mu toll nii daal comme julli ji mu ngi jub si daal xar yi dara duggagul fi mu toll nii luuma yi dara duggagul te baadoole foofu la ñuy amee surtout géej gi waaw géej gi moom kale nañu benn boor parce que moom moo nekk ni ne jën yi du ñu dem fu ñu war a dem oto yi du ñu war a dem fu ñu war a dem parce que dañuy war a dugganteeg Sénégal dugganteeg Guinée Bissau yëpp oto yi dañuy dem comme nañ daan demee waaye léegi duggante bi ak génn bi léegi dafa jafe trop loolu waaw ci liggéey bi fi mu toll nii.
He told me along kwekal state of emergency dundi. At the end of the day, eka karifa ko do dilale. You know, eka salaries dilale. But 90 to 95% Gambians move ka salaries di wala. Okay, abe important la natara ko state of emergency ya ke ine ye border sol sorong. Ya understand? Fokabang ye satel kono bula because ya jele like jang. Mol mantara social distancing nying observe kang ya understand ni tata maketol to motol kono ya understand so abe bete ala no natara ko e boda sol damma soro ngani e airport o fakaba ye mol bula ila lifetime ande tala miro to dal wala nyanta kela
wala ni ajibe ndenen tema o jamfane do manin ajel ba isa boda soro nole ye mol bula ko ne do ko la because ndaka jelo ko ndefana miro re nka jelo ko sasa inda kerin jang bon ni afo mibi modda fa ka kerin do ka kerin ajel to nyata ma sa jesu no ka baba anda kerin ajel so mo se fon fo fon za percentage ajel so na do ndo mon business ro mon business tambe kan bon ka jes ka nyana sang basse nga molde makoy ajel so ni ko bo stop la to yana ma stop le bari ko ni wo stop la ya ntel gambe jang ntel bolo si se bolo bandel bul ajal anu ma se to bi afon ka ga mole go si se bolo woni e ka min nyini ka ta balo wol ina je ke mo flo so yeda so ko ya defense o so be na ko e ke mo flo so yeda ya defense e min so to ko do ko felande so ni ko ba Marcel Solona wala Marcel ba tamori la mo la on beta ga menon on beta ntel
andal mu danaka andal mu ñewa fi la ndel ka jamala nit so jama ñi sabe dame danaka dol bortale because bi ñew ani mol ka dom so mol be dame dol mu kata no business because bodal be sorondi barmanol melal ko kata by school raidal e ka dugulol kono ke disturb so ni dara so mu ka firo keno e ke muta wala e pour ka dunje no so la jamala disturb wala sa inde fum ne kani ne ata wode so bondi no mole mo maybe coming business ole tamano demanding o call sufisano demande ba na lota rek ka mol disturb because abel janda me ye modol jël mo jamale pak business jamal level loring o kera problem o difficulty nak wo problem ko danti je nak bar wo difficulty yalla xana ma dala niyo be loring men kan sometimes na mo je rek ala difficulty ka fundile so ñilam na isuti no walam de la problem o designing den kata basele vente right now from nyanda fundila kata motota kata basse but quand même faut retourner business o mol bordel but I mean kolbe normal o mo kolbe tamakane normal but say dem ay mol disturb le difficulty bo kono bagalama.
Abdou Diop, head of operations at the Tanje fishing site, advised the general public to adhere to the regulations under the state of public emergency.
State of emergency, it must be observed by everybody, from the head of state to the last person must observe because it's a sensitive issue. So everybody have to observe it and comply according to the rules and regulations. Advised by, it's a medical issue, advised by what the Minister of Health or World Health Organization have put on. So that will guide us, both of us. So in the level of Tanje here, since when this pandemic came in, we have tried to observe it by bringing sanitizers, trying to sensitize the community, the danger of this virus, and the major points that should be applied to avoid them, like social distance. And the ministry was able to change time of fishing and time of closing. All have been observed. In fact, normally the ministry used to authorize closure of night fishing, but because of this, pandemic, you have to extend it to August. All those are measures just to, protect, fishermen and the fisher folks and the community as alike.
Wow. Chat bongo man nga gisee state of emergency bi es bi.
Waaw tenisimat mi ngi def lu am solo ndax li ngeen def nii dafa am solo ndax maa ngi dégg sax ñu naan jaay mi ñun ay artistes lañu man ko ma xamul ci télé bi war nga ma dégg man la Chat bongo man di leen wax dëkk bi fi mu toll nii dëkk bi métti na torop jeunes yi sonn nañu torop bongo man yi nag sonn nañu torop Chat bongo man day jaay waa télé bi li muy def xew si jamono yéen daal laf cat yéen ko leen bañ yàlla na xëy di lox ba faja teer laa ilaaha illallaah lii laa wax ba leneen ñëw ma dolli ci leneen nga ne ma ak la naan looy laa jaat
xam ngeen ku nu woo Fanni ko la nu woo daa baax daa gore daa yaatu daa e maali ay ca loolu dana ma neex ne leen Fanni ko neexu leen waawalaay ni kenn ne leen Fanni ko neexu leenam waawalaay ni kenn ne leen ku sa yaay mu noon yaayam yéen ne leen ku sa baay mu noon baayam yow doo wayu doo fi moor sanjoogu xamalu ko dara yow doo wayu doo fi moor sanjoogu xamalu ko dara way fatan ndaw raatami way fatan ndaw raatami way fatan ndaw raatami yow ne ko xola yaa ngi saral sama xol bi yow doo toog lan la yow doo toog lii la
Now, we all heard what the people at the TFS say, that is the Tanya fishing site. These people are of the opinion that the government should take a good look into the SOPE, that is the state of public emergency. And this, they say, is as a result of the fact that the SOPE is really disturbing their businesses. Fatu Kamara reporting.
Welcome back. And now grade 9 students prepare to take examinations amid coronavirus pandemic. Teachers at C4 Upper Basic School spoke to our Mati Senghor on how preparations are going, and she now tells us more.
COVID-19 will leave no sector in any country in the world unaffected, and its consequences will be felt for years to come. Gambia had no choice but to close all schools as part of their lockdown measures to contain the spread of the virus. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education is using television to deliver lectures to the students, but this initiative has laid bare the digital divide in the country. To know more on this story, do stay with us.
Can you please right in? Good. Now look again. You have the shape here. Who can tell the name of that?
After 3 months of sitting at home, the examination candidates have finally resumed, and this is what the students and teachers have to say.
A lot of us, we've not been reading in the space of the 3 months. And then it's affected a lot of us because a lot of formulas in mathematics we've seen also we could not remember so easily, so it's a bit problem.
It have impact on our learning because as you can see right now here, we should not come here we should not come to school here right now. Before we should do our exam before this month, right? We were told about that one. So we are sitting at home for 3 months, and that one is a sad one. We should not do that. To sit at home for 3 months without doing nothing. To me, I can try and do my little best to read my books. But for others, they may sit to read that let me go outside and start having fun with others who are not doing anything, or they are roaming outside the village like that. That shouldn't be done. As a candidate, you know that you are going to do exams. Before you will be roaming the village like that or other thing, you should try and make sure you read your books.
Actually, 75% of students, immediately they left the school, they left their books. Irrespective of that, teachers have covered their syllabus. But when they got home, most of them decided to forget about what they are taught.
Well, especially my subject area I'm teaching them, the subject area I'm teaching them, mathematics, it has a lot of effect on them because most of them, they have not been going through their math books. So I have to try to build them from the ground level, from their grade 7 level, to recall them on a lot of areas, to go through them so that they can be able to see themselves how to perform in those areas, how they will be able to perform there, their performance so that they can improve in a lot of areas there. Especially right now I'm dealing angles with them. Angles, such a topic like angles, they forget about the formulas and others, so I have to recall it all them on all those areas. That's the issue.
The Minister of Education have provided classes on TV for students, but according to reliable sources, it was not effective.
Actually, some of my friends, I'm sure they were following, but our side, there's no TV actually. So I'm sure my friends, they have been following, but for me, I was unfortunate not been following.
Yeah, I'm following that one on the TV. And that one, I am so happy to see that one on TV because you may learn something that you did not learn before, and others, they may not cover their syllabus, and due to the impact of the pandemic that is happening in the world here, we are all experiencing now. So I'm happy to see that shows on the TV.
Here in C4, if I am to say, well, it's not very, very effective because many students don't have the opportunity to be at home for the e-learning sessions. And some, it's not easy though. It's not easy because this is something that we are not used to. It is new to the students in particular.
Well, the e-learning on the TV, I was part of the team also, but students, it was very difficult for them. Even my students at home, my own young ones at home, to put them through the TV was very difficult. At the beginning, I was trying to force them to go through the TV, but at the end, I was tired to put them through the TV. I allowed them to be open. When they feel like to go to the TV, they go. When they don't feel like to, because I don't know what I can do about it.
Our school, from the grade 12 students and the grade 9 students, the teachers specialize on purely revision before the shutdown. All the teachers are handling the past question papers on revision. But actually, other schools, I cannot predict what is happening there. But here we wanted, even had they gave us the paper 2 days before the shutdown, we could have taken the exam because we are all ready for the papers. But when the shutdown took place, we vacated. Then thank God that we are coming back now. We have to try to brush them up before they face the examination.
I can say it has an impact, of course, because we used to stay here in the school for almost 6 hours. And so from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But you will see that due to this COVID-19, students were not coming. And now that we started, we're here for just from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So it has an impact. Though for here in the school, thank God, because we have most of the teachers have completed their syllabus. Yeah, so it's just a matter of revising what we did. Though it's helping, yeah.
Well, to complete the syllabus before exam is very difficult, although. But we have almost complete all the syllabus. The issue is only few parts are there which are not being taught during the past days before they go through this sit down. So we are trying to pick them up on those areas. We have done lots on those areas also. The issue is just how we can make them to understand the areas at this short period, within the short period we are having. It's from the duration of time we are having right now. That's the just difficulties we are facing. But we are working with them together bit by bit.
Our teachers here, they've done their best. I'm almost sure that all of them have completed their syllabus. Maybe other schools it might affect, but here, a lot of them have covered their syllabus, so maybe just revision and they carry on. Yeah, some of us are set for the exams, yeah, some of us are set, but I'm not sure it's not all of us that are set for the exams.
COVID-19 is a stressful event that has direct effect on students' preparation, especially the closure of some school facilities such as library, though necessary, will be disruptive to some students that do not have space to study at their home. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review in Sifo, I am Mati Senghor.
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Bruford, 5 minutes off the Bruford Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and EcoBank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at Taft Bruford Gardens, opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Welcome back, and now I am joined by my special guest, who is the GDC Diaspora spokesperson, Mr. Dudu Ndow. Dudu, can you hear us? And welcome to the Fatu Network News Review.
Good evening, Sajo. Good evening, all the listeners. I'm greeting you all from my end here in the UK, and thanking you all for joining us this evening. I'm pleased to be here today for the first time I'm obviously thanking all the crew and particularly yourself for inviting me today to come and discuss some contemporary issues.
Thank you, Dudu. And one of those contemporary issues is the Local Government Amendment Act, which is a hot potato right now. It seems like the Gambia Democratic Congress have also followed the footsteps of the United Democratic Party and have expelled 2 councillors. Now, let's start with the question, why?
Yeah, I mean, the answer is very simple here. I mean, every democratic process has to be put into the context of the time. And as you can see, I mean, if we take it back to initial stage of removing the section 91 of the 1997 Constitution, which obviously terminates in parliamentary members. So obviously at the time, they obviously oversighted this one, and obviously it would have been more disastrous if it was removed, because we are even contemplating that obviously that the previous one should be put back, because I mean political parties are there. They need to have control of their candidates, and they need to obviously get their policies and programs that they are elected for to ensure that whoever they elect should deliver it. And obviously, if you take that power from them or that mandate from them, anyone can use them as a stooge to get into any level and then end up reneging their duties from the political party.
You said that political parties need to have a certain sort of control, basically, over its members. But isn't this where democracy actually starts?
Come again?
I said, you saying that political parties need to have some sort of control over its elected members. But isn't this where democracy should start internally?
Well, yeah, obviously, if you look at the functions of political parties, I mean, you see that the political parties are obviously organization of government for representation in the first place, and they do elite formation as well as trying to for the people that they sell their programs and policies to. So to that effect, obviously, they need to be having control to deliver that for their people, because they are accountable. So if a member of parliament or councillor or mayor or chairman decide who have that binding moral agreement and even legal agreement with those electorates, so I think it would be very unfair to make the political parties lose that power.
But Dudu, we have also seen in advanced democracies where MPs and councillors part ways with the political parties that elected them, but that doesn't mean they lose their seats, they go independent. Don't you think that we should adopt the same thing in the case of the Gambia?
No, I mean, no. Like I said earlier, we have to put all into the context of the time. In any change, we need to look at the time that we are in. And if you do that now, the context of the Gambia, I mean, I believe right now, the reason why this bill has been tabled to the parliament, it has a motive. There's a motivation behind it, and we all know the reason behind it. And obviously, for somebody to just end up eating the fruits of somebody else's labor, I think it's wrong in the first place. And as you can see, I mean, the political parties have got their own objectives as well to deliver. And if they elect somebody and put there, I mean, why did they remove, for example, section 91D when they removed it? Why did they leave D, E, which states that independent person cannot be removed? So does it mean that independent person is more important than somebody from a political party who represent a nation, have a responsibility to look after a certain constituency, a ward, or any region? So you allow the independent person not to be able to be obviously taken out of any constituency, but the political party who appointed by the people also can remove. Does that make sense?
I have read the letter that was addressed to the two councillors who were expelled from the GDC party. And I think the details are a little bit sketchy, not clear. I want to know, why were they expelled from the party? Does this have anything to do with their involvement in borough programs?
Yes, I mean, it looks like, I mean, we just read the behaviors of the people, and it's all obviously down to the beliefs of what they believe, and we can read their behavior. They never attend our meetings. We've been calling them, and this process has been going on for a long time, if you remember. I mean, we have given them so many opportunities in consultation with the people in their wards, and they have not been complying. So obviously, we also believe that it's the right time to do that, because obviously, I mean, we don't want the same thing. What the bill is trying to put in the parliament at the moment is the same thing with the UDP and Sheriff Sonko. It's the same thing that we are facing with these people, because they are showing allegiance to somebody else. And we have to face the fact. We have to understand that obviously people, the human beings are the way they are in terms of they want to make change. They have choices. We should not take that from them. But what we can take away from them is that we empowered you, put you into position to go for election and get appointed or elected by those people in our name or on our behalf. So obviously, we can't let you disappoint those people forever. We will end up being accountable.
Just like you and I, Dudu, we need a little bit of job security here and there. And of course, these people might not be an exception. Some people insist that if these people are going to be sacked, should it not be matters related to public interest? For example, they were corrupt. For example, they have been accused of something by the communities that they represent. What do you think?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Public interest is nothing more than they are not performing. Because if you go to Birkama, you can see the problem in Birkama. It's been there for a while. You can see since the administration started. We've seen Birkama, how Birkama Area Council has been chaotic, how Birkama, as the people in the West Coast region, are feeling about this. This obviously their new chairman. And you go to our district ward councillors like in Sare, Sophie, and in Jabang, you can see also that our ward councillors are not performing. They are not going to their party meetings. They are not walking along the lines of their party programs for the people. So obviously, at the end of the day, we need to acknowledge that power belongs to the people, and the people entrusted the political parties to give them those positions. So again,
but if power really belongs to the people, can't we let the people decide? I mean, they were voted in by the people, even though they all came under a ticket of a certain political party. But like you said, power still resides in the hands of the people.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've been consulting with their ward committees and people like that. And it's very it will be very clandestine for any party to just come out and try to remove a representative. There must be a reason of obviously false public interest, which is not performing according to the public interest, will be based on what the party sold to those people that you are elected upon. If you don't, you have no means to stay on it, to be honest. We need to go to by-election, and if you believe that, obviously you have the power, not the people, then you go for it and go to by-election and see what the people will choose.
So what happens, because we've seen in the case of the UDP and Sheriff Sonko, he's been really defiant. So what happens if that is the same case with the two GDC councillors who have been expelled from the party?
Well, in the case of the UDP's chairman, it's the same. I mean, they are all under the authority, and obviously they are all under the Local Government Act of 2002, amended in 2015 as well, lastly. So it's the same thing. If they change it, if, for example, if the bill was going to pass, which I doubt it will be, because people are so more litigious nowadays, the people are more obviously open to needing more from their people, the people that they can hold accountable to. So I don't see the bill passing, but just on the other side of the story, if it was not to be passed with, for example, you will see that obviously people will be going to moving, cross-carpeting, like transhumancing from one end to another, just for the sake of their own personal interest. So again, leaving the bill there, which obviously has been put there since during the APRC regime. So it is now time that we all understand that not all the laws are bad laws.
I would like to know, Dudu, what was your position? What was your position as far as this bill was concerned when it was enacted by the Janek regime? What was your position before?
Yes, I was for the motion. I was for the motion because they're there for the reason. And if you remember, they were not there to serve Janek, in fact, because in Janek's days, how many people will leave the APRC for another party? Which parties were there to go and join just for the sake of personal interest? There was nothing in any other party apart from the APRC. So obviously, it is serving us better than even Janek who put it there. So saying that, now if we put that, if the motion hasn't gone through, it means that it's going to serve our democracy even much better. Because independent, if you want to go for election, you go for independent candidacy. If you go through the partisan party and get to the parliament, you get to the council, and you decide to go somewhere else for your own personal interest, I mean, obviously, I think the law will serve us better now than even during the APRC regime.
And let me take you back there talking about personal interest. Let me take you back there talking about personal interest, because you think that passing this bill actually is good for our democracy. But other people think otherwise. They're saying you are only voting for this motion simply because it is your party interest. I mean, what do you think about that? Hello? It seems
what
like
I
we've
believe
lost
strongly
you.
is
Can
that,
you hear us?
Are you with me, yeah?
Yes,
yeah,
we can hear you
what
now.
I believe
Seems
strongly
like we lost
is that
you.
obviously those people who yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so those people obviously will say that, but again, it's still for the people, and it's as I said earlier, power belongs to the people, and the people elected. We need to start from where you need to go back one step behind and look at what happened before this guy become a chairman. So the UDP, for example, sold their agenda to them. So and they bought it and put this person into the council. So if the UDP are not satisfied with this guy's performance, which is not in the interest of the people that they have this moral obligation and legal obligation to, obviously, they have all right to terminate him. Now the question is whether the termination is justified, is legitimate or not. But for him to continue to be it when he is not willing to serve the interest of the party that put him there, which is eventually the interest of the people that voted for that party. If it was not UDP, nobody will know Siripo Sonko. If it was not GDC, nobody will know me. So obviously, come on, it's just common sense. I don't think there should be any kind of apart from just people. We know that we are in the system of in the government of frauds, where when you are out of the water, you don't shout. You make noise. When you are in the water, you quiet. And we've seen that going on. We've seen so many people who are there benefiting. So they are being quiet, but they themselves know that this law is going to even save them in the future. So they are shooting themselves on the foot by going for the motion.
Thank you there, GDC Diaspora spokesperson, Mr. Dudu Ndow. Thank you very much, Dudu, for coming through to the Father Network News Review.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you to the listeners.
Thank you. Well, that's it for News Review. Viewers, do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching, and bye.